Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Last week we were focusing on word processing, like using Word. So today we're going to focus on PowerPoint presentations. Can any one of you define presentation for me, if you know what the word means? Nelly?
Ma'am, I think a presentation is when you are giving your idea out to the audience through preparation of content, maybe probably through a PowerPoint, and then they are listening, and then you are convincing them that this is your idea.
Yes, correct, very correct. So you need to know that when you prepare a PowerPoint presentation, like you need to make an impact. Make sure that your slides are not just out of proportion, that your text, you are just using paragraphs, not using, you need to summarize whatever that you will be doing, because you cannot have paragraphs. So now people need to read paragraphs. So instead, the PowerPoint presentation gives you an opportunity to use pictures to illustrate whatever that you want to illustrate, and it's even more simpler to use it because you can just use 5 slides. Can you let's say you have a presentation that takes about 15 to 30 minutes. How many slides do you think you can do? Can you do like 100 slides? No, you can never do 100 slides. So basically what you need to do is like look your way around what the main point, the main idea of your presentation is, and then pinpoint those points on your PowerPoint slide. Not just write everything down, because you're gonna have a long slide and people won't understand. So with PowerPoint presentations, you need to know that whenever you start a presentation, you start on a blank presentation. Are you on your I can already see that you've selected the PowerPoint.
Yes,
so as you can see, there's a part where it says a blank presentation. So meaning that whenever you start your presentation, you start on a blank presentation.
So you are going to select a blank presentation, and now as you can see you have your first slide. It has already been designed for you, and now you're going to decide upon which topic you'd like to focus on, or which heading you'd like to focus on. So let's say, for instance, before I begin, you should take cognizance of the fact that you have your tabs at the top. Your tabs defined for you: your insert, your draw, design, transitions, animation, slideshow, review. Those are the tabs that you're going to be using to present your your PowerPoint presentation all the time. So let's say, for instance, you're going to be talking about human rights. So you're going to double tap and then type human rights. Now you remember from the Word document, you highlight and then you can edit your document in such a manner that you increase the font size. You can also choose which font you want to use. Let's say we're gonna go with this one, right? And then you basically want to tell people who are you. You might want to tell them who you are, or maybe probably write the date, but normally let's just say you're gonna write the date, not the date, presented by Mr. Chauke. So depending on what topic, or if you are making a formal presentation, you need to know that you become formal. You don't just say presented by Utluleng or presented by Gudwano. You can say presented by Mr. Chauke, and then maybe you can add the details as to whether you'd like to put your contact numbers for them to contact you, your email address, and all that. Now, when we look at our presentation, it looks a bit dull, right? Yes, it looks a bit dull. So one would decide to change the theme. So in order to change the theme, you go to the Design tab. And with the Design tab, it's going to give you the option for themes. And now you're going to choose. You see, there's a lot of themes, right? So you're going to choose which theme you want. Let's see, this one. Yes, that's right. You can probably want to go with this one, the one that I like. I like this one. So yeah, there you go. You already have a layout of your presentation, which is very nice. And then you can go to the Home tab. Now let's say you go into write down the different types of rights that you know. So you're gonna say different types of human rights. and then you're going to name them. The right to education, the right to shelter, right to freedom of expression. Yeah, so you can name them as that. Now you have your second slide. Now before I move to the transitions and the animations, let's just create another slide where I'm going to show you how you can insert. Now you change your layout. Bear in mind that I'm using the layout that I'm using won't be the same as the one on your laptop, won't be the same as your computer. So you're gonna, let's say you're gonna compare two different types of rights, and at this point you are gonna try to add a picture to your slides. So when you add a picture, you need to choose, I think it also, you can also choose pictures that appear in the media, or that, like, pictures that appear on the internet, basically, because there's an option to choose pictures from the internet, but I'm only going to choose pictures that are on my laptop. So it's going to be right to which one did we say? To shelter, right? And then you want to insert. Now you go to the tab insert, and then insert a photo. Now you're going to choose amongst the pictures that you want to, and use the picture that you want to use. So let's say you're taking this picture. You can change the sizes as you want to fit, which suits you. And then we're going to insert another picture there. I hope you are going with me, guys. You insert another picture there. I'm adding the same picture because I'm just showing you an example, so you can resize it whichever way you want. And then, with that being said, let's just say now you want to add your animations and your transitions. Now bear in mind that transitions and animations are not the same. They differ in such a way that we'll start with the transitions. The transitions only allow you to use it for your entire slide and not maybe for a specific word in your slide. So with the transition, you're gonna add, let's say, split, right? And then maybe we want the different types of rights to come inside. This is the part where you're gonna use your animations to, probably when it starts, you want it to fly in, right? And then maybe your pictures, you want them to exit in such a manner that they disappear. Both the pictures disappear, or maybe fly out. And then we'll add another transition to our introduction slide, and I always like to use the curtains, which I think is very much more appealing, and then people can be so interested in the slides, showing that they are more interested because the slide begins so well. Now most of the time you might want to end your slides in a way that is interesting, or maybe you don't want to tell people that this is the end of your slides. So you're going to go to the home tab and then insert, and then change the layout to the title and content. Let's say you're ending your slide and you're saying the end, and thank you. Don't forget to thank people for looking or for being there when you're presenting your slides. Don't just be there and then don't tell them, or don't emphasize on the idea that you really want to say thank you, that they've looked at your presentation and they are somewhat interested in your presentation. Now, after you've done all of this, you can now view, before you can save your presentation, you need to use the slideshow option, which will from the start. So it will show you your presentation from the start, how it begins and how it ends. So we're going to choose from the start. And then it starts with the curtains off. And then voila, human rights presented by Mr. Chauke. And then it moves along to the different types of human rights, right to education, you name them. And then, wow, it introduces you to another slide, which is different types of rights. So maybe you're going to be showing a picture which shows the right to education and a picture which shows the right to shelter. And then they disappear. And then you say thank you. The end. And then that's the end of your presentation. Now people can applaud you for the nice presentation that you did, and this is how you can work your way around it. So since I'm looking at the time, we have about 15 minutes, so I'm just going to give you an opportunity to practice and then work on yourself using what I've said. But don't use the same presentation that I've used. Use your own ideas, and then use your own ideas in such a sense that you insert everything that I've taught you, and then if you have a problem, you raise your hand, and I'll be going around checking everyone and see if they are doing their work correctly. So you have 15 minutes, you can start now.
Nice, very nice.
Ma'am,
Yes, Nelly?
I don't understand how to make the slides move when I'm presenting so that words can just jump in when I'm presenting.
Adding the transitions
Yes,
and the
ma'am.
animations.
Yes, please help me.
So can you do it for yourself when I tell you? You go to transitions and then just select maybe whichever one that you want, maybe push, fade.
Oh.
Yes. And then you can add again, maybe select this one.
Okay.
Yes. And then maybe for this slide, go to this slide.
This one.
Yes, and then maybe go to animation. I want to show you how with the animation. Select the text, and then maybe it appear, fade.
Oh, so this is how the words will be
Yes.
appearing. Also, ma'am, transitions are for the slides, animations
It's
are for the words,
For the word.
the
Yes.
content. Okay,
Yes, of
ma'am.
course.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, in conclusion, name the things that you learned from this whole PowerPoint presentation that we did. Yes, Nelly?
So, ma'am, today I learned how to put together a presentation, and then you showed me how to insert transitions on the slides so that the slides move, and then you also showed us how to use animations on how the words are going to be jumping during the presentation.
Yes, and the other one that I liked was the one with the curtains. So maybe when you introduce your slides, you can use the one with the curtains, so people will be like amused or encouraged to look at the whole presentation.
Yes, ma'am.
And also, I know that you probably know how to save, but still remember to save it. Or before you save it, use the icon that I told you, the slideshow that I showed you, before you can even save it, so that you can see how it is before you present it to other people or before you save it.
Okay.
So just to emphasize on the fact that PowerPoint presentations provide encouragement to the audience, and then you also need to make sure that you put the right content in your presentation so that it makes sense to the whole audience.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So class dismissed, you can all go, and then I'll see you next week.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you for a wonderful lesson.
Thank you.